What's going on, man? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the basement. I'm Ron. If you're new here, man, I go over football, fantasy football, basketball, a little bit of UFC. But today, it's Monday when I'm streaming this. The chat is not exactly bumping right now, so I'm just going to get into this like it's a normal video. Hopefully people come through. I'm probably going to upload this after I'm done, and I'll just lob it up on the channel. If you guys want to watch it over once I'm done, feel free. A little bit of a different setup today. We're on the webcam. I honestly don't even know if the audio is nice, but we're on the webcam. I'm streaming. This is the first stream, so I don't really expect anybody to even really come through. I haven't even talked about me streaming in general. But now that you're seeing this, I'm going to stream probably 2-3 times a week. I'm going to stream every Monday. We're going to go over the games the past week, waiver wire ads, injuries, all that shit. And then I want to do maybe Thursday or like Friday or Saturdays where I go over start sits, a little bit of a recap from the Thursday night game. And I might even start streaming on Sunday where I do a little, I'll set my lineup with you guys. I'll show you guys all my teams. I'll set lineups and shit, and we'll just sort of chop it up. Hope that these live streams sort of get nice and live and vivacious in the chats. I want to make this a fun place, fun community. That's why I want to start streaming. I want to start connecting with you guys more. But today, I just wanted to do a little quick recap. We'll go over a couple waiver wire ads. We'll go over the games. And that's what I'm going to do here. So this is my first time using this software, so I'm going to put the screen in the bottom right corner. If you guys aren't vibing with this setup, let me know. But this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do for this video. Like I said, I'm probably going to upload it after I'm done recording this. And we'll see what happens. Oh, shit. Yo. All right, Miles, bro. I appreciate you hopping in the stream. Man, will the Ravens game count for fantasy because it just got postponed? It just got postponed like right now. Wow, hold on. I guess we'll just riff off this right now. You're really telling me the Ravens game got rescheduled? The NFL is now pondering a third postponement of the Ravens-Steelers game to later this week per league source. Game already has moved from Thanksgiving to Sunday to Tuesday and now could be on the move again. Wow. Bro, to keep it a buck with you, man, will the Ravens game count for fantasy because it just got postponed? I would imagine it would still count on this week, but if you have anybody in this game tonight that you can sub in, man, I'd probably look to try and get out of having to start a Steelers or Raven, but if you have to, then you have to. I'd imagine that they're going to figure out a way. They're definitely going to figure out a way to make it fair for fantasy, especially if you play on something like ESPN Sleeper that has like decent people running the app. Then they're going to figure something out. I guarantee you, they're not just going to give you zeros, but if they do, that sucks. It's just kind of like I would hit up your commissioner, see what he's saying, but it seems like it's going to count on this week unless if it gets postponed entirely. If it moves past Wednesday, I don't see how it could still count as a week 12 game. But that's just where it's at. But, all right, I'm going to hop into these games. We're going to skip over the Thanksgiving ones. Fuck that. We already know what's up. But you guys have any more questions, let me know, man. Like I said, we got a few guys in the chats. I'll make this active with you guys. I'll make this fun. But let's dive into this Raiders-Falcons game. I believe that I know for sure the Raiders were -3.5. This was a game that I really wanted to bet in favor of the Raiders. They do really well on the road against the spread especially. And I think that the main storyline in this game, well, the Falcons ran all over the Raiders, but the main storyline is going to be the Josh Jacobs injury. I don't know what they're saying right now for how long Josh Jacobs is going to be out, but let me see what's up on the Roto World blurbs, I guess. I don't know. I heard that he's going to be out a few weeks. He has a chance to play. It's fortunately just a sprained ankle for Jacobs, which gives him a shot to suit up for Sunday. Davonte Brooker led the team in carries after Jacobs exited in Las Vegas no-show against the Falcons. I mean, I'd say Devante Booker is definitely going to be like the poster boy, like ad of the week. He's a guy I'd be looking for on the waivers. If you need a guy at running back, just monitor this Josh Jacobs injury. If Josh Jacobs has a high ankle sprain, Devante Booker could be a guy who wins people fantasy leagues. I think that Devante Booker, like, he wasn't good at all in Denver, but he's been decent this year. So I mean, he's a guy that I'd be adding on waivers. I think once if Josh Jacobs does miss any time, Devonte Booker, it seems like he took all the snaps. He's going to be in there. He's going to be in there for Josh Jacobs as like the main workhorse type of guy. You know that John Gruden's going to want to run the ball. Anything interesting from the receiving lines? I think Darren Waller's fine. Obviously, I know he had a down week. Renfro's an interesting ad, especially against weak secondaries. Whenever they play somebody like the Falcons, a weak secondary, Hunter Renfrow, if you have like two or three flexes, Hunter Renfrow is an interesting guy to pick up as like a guy you can just shove in the flex. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm not sure any of these guys are really that interesting on waivers or for Dynasty. Then you have Atlanta, and to be completely honest with you guys, I don't care if it's Ito Smith, Brian Hill. I don't know who's going to come out and play running back for them next week. Who are they playing next week? That's just a murky backfield. I really wouldn't trust any of them going forward. I don't know why I can't. Oh, they're playing the Saints next week. That's a tough run defense. I really wouldn't. I don't know. Like the whole, as soon as Todd Gurley got hurt, Brian Hill was the guy that everybody went out and added. I'm happy that I personally added Ito Smith in a couple places. I added Ito Smith in Dynasty. Ito Smith is a good Dynasty ad because he does have that like Tariq Cohen light type build. But this team has looked good since they fired Dan Quinn. They've looked good. Even though, to be honest with you, I would have taken the Raiders minus 3.5 straight up, but I couldn't find. By the time that I was on that line, they were juicing the fuck out of that line. They were juicing that line to like minus 125. And once you're trying to bet on something that's supposed to be even odds, anything past minus 125, especially because of minus 3.5, I'll usually juice it to like minus 2.5 to get under that football number. So I'm thankful I wasn't on this game. Like I said, Falcons running backs, disgusting at this point. I really wouldn't touch any of them. Calvin Ridley is interesting. How much longer is Julio Jones out? I also think that Calvin Ridley got hurt. Julio Jones. Because I thought that, he always got some type of, hamstring, inactive, hammy injuries. I mean, Calvin Ridley, I think Calvin Ridley might even have a fucking injury himself. I don't know why they're both always injured. But Calvin Ridley, dude, if Julio Jones is out for these playoffs, he's out for any other games. I know he was kind of an upset this week. I mean, only 50 for a tutty. I mean, that's not bad. But it will be a wide receiver 1 next week against the States, of course. Yeah, so really not much to take away from this game. Besides, I really wouldn't be touching the Atlanta backfield if I didn't absolutely have to. And then you got Devonte Booker as like the prime waiver wire ad this week. But I mean that was a game I barely even caught on Red Zone. Like once we get towards this part of the season and there's not a lot on the line for a team like the Raiders or for the team like I guess there's stuff on the line for the Raiders, but once you get down to like 6:43, I'll be honest, I didn't really watch much past like the half on that game. Then we had Bills Chargers. This was an interesting game. Herbert the last 2 games has not looked as crazy as he's looked in those first couple games. I'll be honest. They're not first couple games, like the first 5, 6, but the last 2 games, he played the Bills, and then I think he played the Dolphins last week. I wasn't a fan of how he looked. Eckler was 16 targets in his first game back. I'm telling you guys, this was somebody that I had on my the trade targets list. Now, not to come out here and brag and boast, if you will. But if you're watching the videos, man, we had the 3 trade targets I said heading into the playoffs. We said Justin Jefferson. Y'all know what he just did. Justin Jefferson went crazy. Then Robert Woods, he went crazy. I'm not sure if he went crazy yesterday. We'll see that game. But I know that he went crazy on the primetime slate last weekend. And then Austin Eckler. Dude, 16 targets. Now, it was a negative game script. They're down against the Bills, but there's not many games the Chargers are going to have leads. So this dude, 16 targets, especially from Justin Herbert, a guy who runs the ball. Like I mean, he only had 2 carries for minus 2 yards, but a guy who's a mobile quarterback. The fact that Austin Eckler out-targeted guys like Keenan Allen and Hunter Henry, I really like that. I'm telling you guys, if you can go out and trade for Austin Eckler, because this is one of those low-key. I mean, actually, 11 receptions, so that's a never mind ski. But if he's a guy you can acquire, if he's a guy that you grab because I told you to, Austin Eckler is a guy I feel really confident about in these upcoming weeks. I also want to ask you guys a question. Dude, every fucking time. If you guys want like dynasty rankings or rest of season rankings, I'm thinking about getting on the Google Drive. I know if some of you guys are OG subscribers, beginning of the fantasy football playoffs or fantasy football season, I had a Google Drive document that had my preseason rankings. If you guys want me to drop those type of Google Drive documents and just share them with you, I'm not gonna. I'm at 200. We're at what, like 270 subscribers. I'm not gonna fucking charge you guys for my rankings. But yeah, man, if you guys want like a set in stone list of like how I'm thinking, I'm not a big weekly rankings guy. Like I kind of. I don't have like a set weekly rankings. I just kind of feel things out. I look up other people's rankings, and the fantasy footballers do a really good job. Fantasy pros, if you do the consensus, does a really good job. And then I just kind of give my own opinions in there. I don't have a set in stone one because it's a lot of time to go through all the way to like the 36. I could maybe do like top 24 and then maybe like a flex rankings. I don't know. Just things I'm thinking about. You know, this is what, we're 5 months into this as a fantasy football sports content type channel. Having fun though, boys. And so Troyman Pope was I think that he was a very popular ad once Eckler went down. He didn't do anything. Kind of sad to see no Kalen Ballage. You know, I kind of liked Kalen Ballage, but it seems like we're going to go back to what it was before. I think Austin Eckler might actually help Josh Kelly here. I think Josh Kelly, he's just a very good like thunder to Eckler's lightning. He averaged 5 yards a carry, did better rushing than Austin Eckler, even though he's been outshined by Kalen Ballage in these last couple of weeks. I think Joshua Kelly, because of Eckler coming back and what Eckler does to that offense, I'm a big fan of what he offers, man. I think Joshua Kelly, he's a guy I have in Dynasty. He's a guy I think that should be back on our radars because, the 33-yard long is what got me slipping, boys. That means he had 6 carries for 2 yards outside of that 1 carry. I don't know. I still do kind of think that because Eckler also struggled running the ball, but I think that it's going to be back to once the Chargers play a softer defense, you're going to see Austin Eckler do his thing, and then Josh Kelly be that 1B, kind of like how it was before the Eckler injury, unless if Kelly really takes a big step back. But his 1 goal line carry was good. I guess he got a 33-yard run, which is good. Let me see the 33-yard run. Also, Varun, what's up, my man? Hello. Anybody who's in the chat, bro, I appreciate it, man. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, any thoughts on the games, any ideas for future videos, whatever, let me know in the chat, man. We got 3 guys, so this is an open discussion, if you will. Now, all right, I want to see that Joshua Kelly 33-yard run, because that's got to be somewhat interesting. Let me see. On the Chargers.com highlights? Oh, jeez. No, I don't want any notifications for any of that. Hold up. What is this? What is this quality? Oh, okay, bet. Okay. He looks good, man. Looks good. I don't know. I'm a big believer in him, man. I'm a big believer in what Joshua Kelly offers to the table. I think that I know that he kind of got outplayed by Kalen Ballage here, but he's a guy that I believe in. If you had him in Dynasty, I don't mind him on the bench. I have him on the bench of a couple of my teams. Man, Varun, you said you're at 131 points. Your opponent is at 134 right now, and you have Ebron, bro. Like. Is there anybody available? What do we got? Hold on, let me get off of this Chargers game. Let me see what's up here. Opponent has Eagles D. Dude, that's a scary spot to be in. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know why my shit's not loading in. Man, I would. If you have Miles Sanders and Ebron though. Dude, if you have. Man, Miles Sanders and Ebron. Like, I think if Goddard, if there's somehow some way that you can get Goddard into your lineup right now, that's exactly what I would do. Man, Disley Hollister, Rogers. To be honest with you, man, Disley Hollister, Rogers. What have they been doing? Let me see the game logs the last couple of weeks. Seahawks stats. To be honest with you though, I'm definitely siding. I'm definitely siding with just holding on to Ebron and just trusting the process. I know that it's looking rough. I just have to see the game log. I just have to see a game log or two of the Disley Hollister show. Rodgers definitely can't be the move. So what did anybody get any targets at? Hollister, jeez, man. Hollister and Disley is what we're looking at. To be honest with you, man, it really might burn you. I just don't think that you should get. I just don't think you should get too pretty with it and get a Disley or Hollister off the bench. I think I would just hold with Ebron. It looks like. Let me see what Schefter tweeted out one more time, because I do think the game happens. That's really all it is. I think the game happens. Postponed to Wednesday per source. If whatever they want, whatever. I don't know. I think I would stand pat, but I definitely would hit up your commissioner. I definitely would hit up the commissioner, see what the options are. I lean just seeing what's up and with the Ebron game, the Steelers game, and just kind of rolling with it, to be honest with you. I think that's what I would do personally, because you do have Sanders. That's a decent spot. I just can't see a world where they keep postponing it and it just doesn't get played, and then everybody gets fucked over in fantasy from it. Be a really tough sell from them. Yo, Glenn Ramos, what's up, man? If you're new here, man, this is a channel where we talk about fantasy football, just normal football. We got basketball. We got everything here, man. It's a fun channel. We keep it light. We keep it loose. Now, I was talking about that Chargers-Bills game. Like I said, you got any questions, fellas? I'll completely give you whatever. I'll look into whatever you need, fellas. But I'm looking at the Bills game. Be honest, I saw it come up on Red Zone a few times. I swear to God, Isaiah McKenzie always got one of these 1 yard for -1. They always send them on an end around it. Nothing happens from it. Josh Allen, not a great day. I'm telling you. Actually, I'm not even telling you, because the Chargers defense is so insane, boys. Like, the Chargers defense is really good on paper when they're healthy, though. Like, they were just, like, somewhat healthy. They had Joey Bosa, Chris Harris in this game. They didn't even have their number one corner in Casey Hayward. Like, this is a team, dude. The Chargers are going to be scary as fuck next year, man. But still, they did Josh Allen dirty. The running backs did well, but 11 carries ain't going to do it, boys. 11 carries from Devin Singletary, 9 carries from Zach Moss. It's hard to start either of these guys in fantasy. Really good bench stashes, though, because Josh Allen, he's going to open up those running lanes. That's why they always get crazy yards per attempt. And there are guys where you just need one of them to get hurt for the other one to be playable. They are low-end flexes, though. I think Gabriel Davis is super interesting in Dynasty. I loved what I saw from him. His touchdown was on the Cole Beasley throw. Gabriel Davis is super interesting in Dynasty, because I think, man, after Diggs, after John Brown has been hurt, and he's really filled into that John Brown role as like an outside threat. Hold on, this guy's like a player profiler sweetheart. If Gabriel Davis, no, there's no way he's available on your waivers. But if there's any way that you guys can grab Gabriel Davis in Dynasty, he's a dude that I really fuck with, man. 4.54. I mean, nothing crazy. He broke out 80th percentile, 4th round pick at a UCF. I think he has that. He just has like a prototypical type build. I think Zach Pascal's doing him a little bit dirty. I think he's a little bit better than that. But I think he's very interesting in Dynasty. He's a good player. Stephon Diggs, 7 for 39. That's a wacky stat line for him. But yeah, man, I don't think anybody up here is really anybody that I'm looking at to add on waivers, besides maybe Joshua Kelly if he's out there. I wouldn't use a claim on him, though. Who do you think leads the pit backfield next year between Snell and McFarland? Do you think they maybe draft a running back? To be honest with you, I think that, like, my personal opinion is that McFarland is a much better running back than Benny Snell. But it seems like when things go to shit. I mean, let me see, because that's an interesting question. Because I do think, I definitely, I don't know if James Conner's contract is up, but that definitely doesn't seem like a long term long-term answer there. I mean, they both have pretty shitty yards per carry. Benny Snell gets more. I think honestly, I'd say in the event that James Conner's not there next year, I think, and Benny Snell and McFarland are there, I'd say Benny Snell is the 1A guy, and then McFarland would kind of fall into the Jalen Samuels like change of pace role. I do think Benny Snell will get the bulk of the carries, but I do think that if they move on from Connor, that they probably. Right now, I think I lead Snell, but I think that they are a prime spot to land a guy like a James Conner, or not a James Conner, obviously. Land a guy like a Leonard Fournette. The Steelers could easily draft a guy in the second or third round. I definitely wouldn't. I wouldn't be firm. You think he's a free agent after this year? I think, yeah. I'd say James Conner's a free agent after this year. I really don't see him coming back. I think for sure, I'd say Benny. I would lead Benny Snell, but I think if you're giving me the choice of Benny Snell, Anthony McFarland, or the field, just like somebody getting drafted or a free agent coming in, I think I would take the field. I don't think that they're super confident with what they have in Benny Snell and Anthony McFarland, but that's just me. I think Anthony McFarland, I personally think that he's a much better player than Benny Snell. I think he's a great prospect, super fast, super bursty, really big play ability and shit. But I don't think Mike Tomlin sees it that way. He kind of likes those like plodding running backs, like a James Conner, the guys who aren't like super explosive and go crazy and shit. But Anthony McFarland, there's nothing that I don't like. Yeah, 4.44. He's best comparable. Ooh, DeAndre Washington, that's kind of a dirty one. But I mean, yeah. How has he been on like a per touch basis this year? Ooh. Yeah, I mean, nothing great. I don't know. I like Anthony McFarland, and I'll stick up for Anthony McFarland till the day I die. I think that I don't know about stud, but I mean 5'8", 208. He's not very undersized. Even though he's 5'8", he's a thick boy. He's a guy I think I like him. I don't think that he is the type of runner that Tomlin likes. I think that's the problem. Yeah, exactly. He's not like he's 5'8", 208, and I think that's big enough. 80th percentile BMI. But I think that Tomlin, he likes that thick boy. He likes that James Conner, Le'Veon Bell, Rashard Mendenhall. He likes he almost prefers like a plotter. You know what I mean? But somebody else that's a fucking. I wish that I had available in Dynasty. Joe Mixon, Giovanni Bernard comes in, stinks it up. Man, Joe Mixon's killing me in Dynasty right now, boys. I have a Dynasty team with Joe Mixon, Ezekiel Elliott, Derrick Henry, Miles Sanders, Allen Robinson. Just an insane team. I can't even... Allen Robinson, Will Fuller, fucking Kenny Golladay, who's hurt. I got so many. BM is great, but they prefer that height as well. Yeah, 100%. They want to have like a big guy. They want a guy that they don't have to sub out on the goal line and shit, which I don't agree with. I think that Anthony McFarland's a way better running back than anybody else in that backfield. But I mean, he has only had 3.4 yards per carry. So who am I to say anything? But this game was a shit show. I'm not sure. Daniel Jones is out. I think Colt McCoy is Colt McCoy. Brandon Allen's these are not guys that I'm very excited about. Wayne Gallman, 24 carries. Very exciting. I have him in Dynasty. But none of these guys I'm really looking to add anywhere. Evan Ingram, 6 for 129. I felt that in a few places. I had Evan Ingram. I don't think I played him anywhere. Or I played him, but I don't think I played against Evan Ingram anywhere. And, dude, here's the thing about Allen Robinson, though. Let's look at that game log real quick. You said you're a Bears fan? That's tough, man. I'm a Jets fan, though, so I don't even I guess we both suffer, man. It's a tough time. It's really a tough time. Three touchdowns, dude. This was a game that had an over under 44, and they came out here and put 66 points on the board. That's something. I mean, dude, 103 yards off 11 carries for David Montgomery. I feel pretty good about that if I'm a Bears fan. The thing is that it's David Montgomery. I think if you're in tune with fantasy and in tune with player profiler and what kind of prospect David Montgomery is, he's never going to be somebody super special. But dude, here's the thing about Allen Robinson. Like he is on a trash team with a trash quarterback, man. But 8 for 74 and 2 touchdowns against like pretty much Jair Alexander on most coverages. That that is 13 targets. Like, that's really all you could ask for from him. So Allen Robinson hasn't done me dirty. He's honestly probably one of the guys that I would talk up on that team. Somebody that I love in Dynasty, boys, if you can grab him, he's hard to acquire. I think a lot of people have caught on at this point, but Darnell Mooney, it really seems like his lack of production. Like, I know he only had 3 for 34, dude, but 9 targets is 9 targets as a 5th-round rookie with Anthony Miller there as well. Like, 9 targets, I love that. I know that it's only 3 for 34, and I know he keeps posting games where it's not a lot of stats and it's just him doing whatever, but look, if you earn 9 targets as a 5th-round rookie, he's somebody I'm going to keep my eye on. He's very fast. I think like 4.35. Dude, you might be down bad, but as a Jets fan, I am down terrible. Down terrible. But here's the one thing I will tell you, man. I like that we're tanking, and it's kind of like with the Bengals and the Browns. You know what I mean? They were like, holy no. Here's the thing. Remember the Dolphins last year? They come out against the Ravens. The Ravens beat them so bad that like Minka Fitzpatrick begs his agent to trade him. All the players, like, there were some reports coming out after the Ravens game. They're like trying to request trades and all that, and they were looking at that like the shittiest spot in the whole league. They suck up. They just suck up 1 year of shittiness, or not 1 year of shittiness. They've been bad for a couple of years, but they suck up 1 year of shittiness, and then they come out, draft Tua, and they really just turn the whole thing around. What? They're like a borderline playoff team now. That's what I'm hoping for the Jets. We get Trevor Lawrence. We got a couple pieces. We turn the whole thing around. But the one thing I'll say about the Bears is that you guys have such a good defense that you guys hover in this like fringe wild card spot. You don't get a good enough draft pick to get that new quarterback, but you don't get you're not far enough into the playoffs to justify it. You know what I mean? You're in such a weird like middle ground spot. For me, I would just rather rip the Band-Aid off, be shit, get Trevor Lawrence. You guys are in this middle part, but I will say I love the quarterbacks in this draft. I think that this could be the draft where there's 6 quarterbacks drafted straight up. There could be you got Lawrence, Fields, Lance, Wilson. Then you have Kyle Trask and Mac Jones. I think all those guys are damn near top of the top. Glenn Ramos, I'm praying that you're capping. Please, man. Please don't do me like this. Are you really No. No. Dude. I'm like genuinely sad. I have full floor on a lot of teams, man. I'm sad. I mean, man. Not that y'all killing me with this shit. Damn it, bro. All right. I mean, that's man. What'd you say, Hand Ahmed? What's up, man? Welcome to the stream. What'd you say? Did you watch Tyreek Hill? Dude, Tyreek Hill went insane. First up, we're gonna look at this. We're gonna look at the Texans game logs, and we're gonna try and spin this, boys. Let's spin this a little bit. Man, I don't think there's any way I can spin this to the point. Oh, they played on Thanksgiving. Here's the thing. Let's take a little look-ski. At what happens here. Oh, man, dude. 6 for 171 and 2, and he's got it. Of course they drug test him, bro. Of course. Oh, man. All right, so they drug test him. Brandon Cooks, 5 for 85. So, Brandon Cooks, if he's on the waiver wire, I don't think he's on the waivers in too many places, but if he's on your waiver wire, man, he's a guy pick up. You can't trade for Brandon Cooks. If you have Brandon Cooks, I think that he's a good sell high. Just because like people are gonna, this is the buzz that's created. You know, as soon as I heard about the Will Fuller thing, I go to the game log, see what's up. But I think Brandon Cooks becomes super interesting. I guess Duke Johnson becomes a little bit more interesting, but not really. I'm not really interested in the Texans outside of Deshaun Watson. I do hate that though for Deshaun Watson. He loses one of his best targets, so that's tough. Man, why is so many, dude? This is like the second thing that you've broke on this live stream. Dude, what is going? Like, why are there so many things coming out right now? The wide receiver 7 tough to replace. Yeah, man, it's hella tough. Damn, bro. Earlier this year, I saw treatment from a medical professional prescribe medication that he believed to be permitted under the NFL's drug policy. As it turns out, my trust in his professional was misplaced. As a result of the mistake, I've been suspended. Wow, that's really tough, man. He should He might appeal it. I just saying how he's been surprisingly healthy. Wow. This is a big blow, man. This is a big blow. But I do have him in Dynasty, which means that if you're a contender and you have him in Dynasty, you can sell him for a pretty good price. You really don't have to sell him at a discount because we know what he's going to be next year. He's going to be back next year, so whatever. We'll fucking brush that off. Whatever. Hold on. I was going to go to the Titans Colts. Let me look at the Tyreek Hill. Because the Tyreek Hill breakout, all that shit was pretty crazy. I will be honest, my computer's a little bit slow right now because the stream taking a little bit up. I haven't streamed yet, so really just trying to gauge what is going on. If I should put more delay on to get better latency, I don't know. It's my first time. It's my first time doing this. If you guys have streamed or you guys know big streamers that do certain things, let me know, man. Really just kind of feeling things out, having fun. You know, we're getting a consistent 2-3 guys in the chat, so. This is big things over here. So we had yesterday. This was an ugly game at first. I got a boosted line on this at the bookie I use. They went down to over under 49, and that was tough. That was tough because 49. I don't think 49 happened until the fourth quarter when the Bucs were just getting shit on the whole game, and then they finally got 14 in the fourth quarter. Came back, covered that up. You said you want to see my fantasy squads. Honestly, I'm gonna break down these games and then. Or break down like the waiver wire ads, the implications. Look at a couple of box scores, and at the end, I'll probably show a couple squads, see what's up. I definitely want to do Sunday mornings on this channel. I'm gonna start. I think around like 12 p.m. I'll load up the shit, and I'm gonna set my lineups with you guys. I think that's the move. Just because I can show you guys what's going through my head when I'm setting lineups, all that. The 14th time I've had to stop the fucking. Little video in the top right. Or actually, no. I'll show you my squad right now. I'll show you my squad. Let me show you my sleeper squad. Might as well, man. Literally, I'll bounce around. It's the first stream. I don't not really have to be a structure in this. I do feel kind of weird showing like the league chats and shit like that, but just kind of ignore that. So here's my team. Or no, this is a shitty team. This is sleeper. So this is gonna be this is in a analyst league. So this is with other player profiler guys, and this was a squad that's been a shit show this year. It's been a shit show this year, but I've been trying to string things together. This is in a league with sharks, man. But we had Saquon Barkley that we drafted first. I don't even really keep a full bench. Like it's a very small bench league. It's kind of unorthodox the way that we run it, but I do have Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson. I mean, dude, I'm running, it's tight end premium as well, so I'm running 2 tight ends. I also am starting Eric Ebron. To be honest, though, this isn't a league that I'm super worried about. It's a free league. We don't really pay dues or anything. It's just kind of like, it's a fun league with all the guys that are a part of Roto Underworld and that stuff. So these guys are all a part of the team. If you don't know, I have written for Player Profiler in the past, the website that has the 40-yard dashes and all that. I've written a couple articles here and there. But here's the squad. We got Deshaun Watson, Adrian Peterson. We got fucking Benny Snell in there. So I'm personally, if I was a little bit more up to speed, because this commissioner does allow you to have subs. As you see, so you have Jameson Crowder for Juju. So I probably should be smarter. Should have been smarter and put that in. But this is a league, like I said, it's a free league. Nothing that I'm too worried about. Then here's my 2 dynasty teams. I'll show you guys. This is a fucked week because this is a team that's a young team. I'm building for the future in it. But I had to play Malcolm Perry at QB. I didn't want to set an incomplete lineup, be an asshole, but Gardner Minshew's out, Jordan Love's out, Lamar Jackson's out. And to be honest with you, I really don't mind taking a loss this week. I'm tanking. I'm going to get the first over. Here's the thing, though. It's by the max points for. I wish I could show you guys this on the desktop. I want to show you guys the desktop if I could, or on the desktop if I could, but it's literally just by the max points for. So it does say that I'm in 10th right now. Like I'm 4-7. I don't know how I've scrapped these wins together. This team is really bad in terms of like a win now team. But this is a really fun team that I put together. I drafted it super young. I didn't really think I was going to win now. But right now I need to shop Devontae Parker, Gronk, get them out of here before the playoffs start. I need to get Travis Fulgham out of here. But the young pieces I really like: Miles Sanders, Kirk, Laviska Shenault, Andy Isabella. I also got I got a couple more guys on the bench. Keyshawn Vaughn, Cam Akers, Joshua Kelly. Then you also have Lamar Jackson, Paris Campbell, Brandon Ayuk is somebody I'm really excited about. J.K. Dobbins I'm very excited about. Devin Duvernay, Jalen Hurts. Then we got a first, which is going to be the first overall pick. Then probably the 201. Then we got somebody else's second. That trade I did, I gave him Drew Brees for Jordan Love in a second this year. I like that move a lot. So that's impressive. I want to get into the fantasy community more and do stuff like that. Man, if you're interested in getting the fantasy community yourself, it's really not that hard. All I did, if you listen to stuff like this super heavy and you listen to the podcast and you're very in tune with everything, I pretty much just sat down pretty much during quarantine. During quarantine, that's when I wrote articles for Player Profiler. If you can start writing articles, you can just start making YouTube videos. It's super easy to just get your opinion out there. There's a lot of traction that you can get. It was hard to get growth in the summer because of COVID and there's not a lot of hype for the fantasy season right now. But pretty easily, you can just either start. I would start a fantasy football Twitter account. That's what I did. Then I started writing articles. But if I could go back, I would just start making YouTube videos. I wish I started making YouTube videos in April in the spring, because then you just want to get that subscriber count up, get the views up, and really start getting into the algorithm. Because in the beginning, dude, it was rough. The summer was rough, but then we got to 100 subscribers and we started climbing a little bit. Now we're at 275. I'm hoping that we get to 1,000 by the summer, but I'm not really going to push it too hard because the views and the subs are cool. But you also want to make stuff that you love, make stuff that you want other people to see. And I think that with that mindset, the views and the subs and all that, it'll come with time. You want to make the product, you want to make things nice. That's why this is my first live stream. I want to start doing these more often. Like I said, I want to start doing them Mondays, Sundays, and then either Fridays or Saturdays. Especially towards this part of the season, because there's only so much I can offer you, because trade targets aren't really in right now because the trade deadline's already passed. So there's only so much I can help you guys with your teams without talking to you guys directly. So this is what I'm loving. This is, or not what I'm loving, but this is what we're trying out on the channel. You said I'm ready for the Laviska Shenault, dude. Laviska Shenault, he's gonna get some tutty passes from that boy Justin Fields, man. Justin Fields next year on the Jaguars. Book it. They're going to get somebody better on the team. He's a guy that I like. Laviska Shenault, Terry McLaurin, Denzel Mims. These are guys that are really bad situations in 2020 that are looking like they're going to get QBs in 2021. And that's when they're going to blast off. Terry McLaurin, Laviska Shenault, Mims. Who else? Who else is up there? Does anybody have like an injured quarterback? I don't know. You get what I'm saying though. Those are guys that I like trading for. And then this is my team that I'm trying to go balls to the wall, win now. We got Ben Roethlisberger or this team. I actually blew this matchup out of the water. I'm projected for 191, projected for 130. Fucked them up. This is a team that is 6-5. I have no idea how it's 6-5, man. I have Ben Roethlisberger, whatever. I had a Dak Prescott injury. I might make a video where I go over all the trades I did with this. But we got Derrick Henry, Miles Sanders, Will Fuller, Allen Robinson, Ingram, Ezekiel Elliott, who's been shit, man. Jacoby Myers, sick pickup off the waiver wire. Amari Cooper. Then on the bench, we even have Duke Johnson, Wayne Gallman, John Brown, Kenny Golladay. On the injury reserve, Drew Brees. Dude, Joe Mixon, he's hurt. It's just so much has gone wrong. And I've sold my soul. This is a stacked team, and I sold my soul for it. I don't have any first or seconds in the next two drafts, but that's just what it is. I'm going all in, and somehow I'm still 6-5. I'm going to be 7-5. We'll see what the playoffs are looking like. We'll get in there. If you want to see, I'll show my ESPN teams after this. But let me know. That's a little preview. I haven't shown any of my teams on the channel. I really want to go over that team that I'm tanking with. I think I'm going to do a video tomorrow or the next day where I'm probably going to show the team, go over it a little bit, the trade targets I'm looking for, and then I'm going to go into trade targets for teams that are tanking in Dynasty. I think that's an interesting concept to go over, especially right now as the playoffs are about to start. You can if you got some players like that, the Gronkowski and Devontae Parker that I got, you can pretty easily hit up the contenders. Be like, yo, I'll slide you a little Devontae Parker, a little Rob Gronkowski. You give me a first pick in return, and we'll call it even. So I don't know about you, but James Robinson to me was a new waiver, but yeah, 100%. When we look back at this season, James Robinson's going to be like I would say Alvin Kamara, but I wouldn't say Alvin Kamara because he's sick. Like, I don't think James Robinson's that same tier of player. He kind of reminds me, his like renaissance right now, he kind of reminds me of like CJ Anderson, you know what I mean? He kind of came out of nowhere, went crazy for a year. The Jaguar, did I go over the Jaguars game yet? I don't think so. It's taking forever to load, but I think when we look back on it, we'll definitely. What's up? Why can I not find the Jaguars game? Oh, okay. That dude, the Browns were like -7 or something going into this game. I have no clue how the Jaguars keeping things close with their squad, but yeah, dude, 22 for 128 in a touchdown. Like James Robinson. Here's the thing, man. I'm gonna come to you. Full disclosure. James Robinson, I don't have him anywhere. When the news broke out, I was so, and I really regret this, man. This is something that I'm going to try and be better at. But James Robinson, let me see the player profile. Like when I first heard about it, I was like, Fournette's going to be gone. This is a team that's going to be super shitty. Do I even want the main running back, especially if it's going to be a committee between Raquel Armstead, Chris Thompson, and James Robinson? But it's as easy as just keeping up with it to the point where it looked like James Robinson was going to be the main back. Raquel was dealing with COVID. And it just became a situation where I was just like, I was so dead set on Leonard Fournette being the guy in Jacksonville. And then after he got sent to the Buccaneers, I was just like, I don't even want to take a chance on one of the three. But here's the thing: if you're ever in a spot where you can get the lead running back in any offense, I don't care what offense it is, you have to just take that swing off the waiver wire. This is even a guy like James Robinson, because I saw the 4.6, 4.40, and I was like, I don't think that this guy's that great, undrafted. I really didn't think that he was going to be amazing. But if any guy looks like they're going to be in line for the primary workload for a team, especially early in the year, you have to jump on it. This is something I got to write down, because James Robinson's the guy I missed on. I have him, like I said, I have him in 0 leagues. I did not pick him up early enough. Because remember, if you picked him up, it wasn't because you saw him in week 1 go crazy. It's because you picked him up after Leonard Fournette move. This was late August, early September type shit. So if you grabbed him, it was really just a leap of faith. And I even saw him on waivers and I just passed him. I was like, I'm not interested. That's what I got to get better at, though. He's number 4 in carries, number 6 in weighted opportunities. He's had nothing but opportunities this year, man. It's actually insane. I think I saw a stat that like the Jaguars running backs, or we can look at it right now. Like when you look at Jacksonville and what they've done this season, and you look at the amount, or you just look at the carries that like the next carries leader is Chris Thompson at 7. Like the volume he's getting for an undrafted guy this year, I couldn't have predicted it from a mile away. But if you guys, when you guys watching this, if there's a running back out there that looks like they're going to get primary workload carries, I don't care. The Jaguars are a wasteland, or at least they looked like a wasteland. They are still pretty much a wasteland. If anybody's getting the primary workload in the backfield, he's a guy who's worth rostering every single time. And dude, and targets, like in terms of his stats compared to other running backs, it's actually insane. The percentage of the workload that they're giving James Robinson. Now, in terms of long term, he's scary for me. I think that still, if we're talking about this through a dynasty lens, I think that James Robinson, man, he did just play pretty well. But I think if we're still talking about him through a dynasty lens, I still see him as a win now asset. If I had him, I think that I hit up the guy who's a contender and needs another running back. I think I sell him for a first plus, probably like a first and a second, something like that. You know what I mean? For a first plus, I don't know. I have heard some guys that I really respect in the industry say that James Robinson, they're RB1 in this rookie class. I think that he's like fringe top 5 for me in terms of the rookie running backs. I think he's in a very similar spot to Cam Akers. I think that for the running backs, it easily has to be no order: Swift, JT, CEH, Gibson, Robinson. No order. I think that's like the top 5, and I think that that's where I would have him. I would just feel really, as a rebuilding team, I would feel sketchy about having him into the offseason because they can draft somebody, they can grab somebody. This is going to be one of the most stacked running back classes of all time, or not. Let me chill with that. You got like 3 or 4 dudes at the top who are sick. And you also remember, this is the free agency class of the 2017 running backs. That's going to be Aaron Jones. Who else isn't signed long term? I can't think of the 27 Marlon Mack. The 2017 running backs, James Conner. 2017 running back draft class. So this is going to be one of the most stacked free agent draft classes, and it's going to be one of the most... Why am I getting this? Why can't I just literally see... So 2017 NFL draft. I'm just going to look up the running backs. But yeah, in terms of which ones are extended right now, I think that it's literally just... Mixon got his extension. I think Kamara got his extension, right? Ordered by running backs. But dude, these are some sick... Cook got his extension. Fournette's going to be available. Mixon got his extension. I want to say Kamara got his extension. I want to say Kareem Hunt's in Cleveland for another year. James Conner. So, I mean, yeah, Marlon Mack, Aaron Jones. There's going to be some Chris Carson. I want to say that Chris Carson is going to be... I want to say that he signed something with Seattle. But a couple of guys on free agency, a couple guys that might get cut, a couple guys that are solid in the draft. So, to be honest with you, I would feel shaky about him long term, but not to the point. Like, for me, I think I value him in a similar spot. Like, he's in that Antonio Gibson, James Robinson, Antonio Gibson, and who's the other guy? Antonio Gibson and Cam Akers. You know what I mean? Like, the Cam Akers is like an underperforming, super high stud, and you have Antonio Gibson, who's later on in the draft, but he's looking really good now. So, and James Robinson, undrafted, looking really good now. So that's what I'm saying. I think that as a rebuilding team, I think I would look to ship him, but I don't mind keeping him long term because he has shown the promise. It looks like he's going to have a 1,000 yards season. Yo, I'm getting exposed. Yo, my mom made some stuffed shells. Let's fucking go, boys. About to eat that up. Not now, though. One would hope for competency. That's the thing. I think that the Jaguars... Who is the Jaguars GM? Like, to be honest with you, he hasn't done a terrible job. David Caldwell. After Sunday's 27, the team just fired the GM. Literally just fired the GM. So, man, that is scary. If I'm a James Robinson owner, that is definitely scary. But I do think if they hire somebody who's competent and they look at James Robinson's stats, I don't see how you look at what James Robinson has done and you just decide to move on and draft somebody else. I could really see them drafting somebody in like the 4th, 5th round to kind of compete with him. Here's the thing, boys. Ponder this for a second. If we had a redraft league for 2021, where's James Robinson going? I would say late second, early third. You know what I mean? As like a top fringe top 12 guy, kind of like where Eckler, Aaron Jones, CEH was going this year. I think he'd be in a similar spot to that. That's so I don't mind him long term. Then, God, Mike Glennon. I can't believe Mike Glennon was in the game. 2 touchdowns, 0 picks, and that's a good game. That's a good game for Mike Glennon. But, dude, I don't know if I like Colin Johnson as an ad in Dynasty, boys. If you have a super deep bench, add him and see if you can get him on your tax or something like that. But Colin Johnson, I know his efficiency metrics and his stats on Player Profiler are really nothing special. I got to just keep Player Profiler tab open. I don't know why I keep closing out of it. But he's a guy who's like 6'6". I honestly loved what he did. I honestly love what he did at Texas. He had some big fucking games at Texas. I think that his production at Texas gets a little bit slept on because he did fall a little bit once Devin Duvernay came into the picture in, I want to say it was Colin Johnson's senior year. I don't think Colin Johnson's super special. I don't think that he's a great talent, but I do think that he's interesting. He's interesting at 6'6", 222. He just had another pretty good game. Where's his, let me see, has he had any other decent games? Has he challenged 23 routes? Oof, not a lot in week 9. I guess he was hurt, maybe coming off the practice squad or some shit. But I mean, I guess this is his breakout game. You say early to mid-second? I would personally lean, I think that I would buy him for an early second, but I don't think I would sell him for anything less than a first, if that makes sense. I don't think I'd sell him for anything less than a first. But that's personally just me, because why not just ride out the production? Because I'm not going to sell... Yeah, I wouldn't sell James Robinson for a second, but if you can buy him for a second, that's a move for sure. That's I think that's what I've come to the consensus on. I think that his selling price for me is a first, and his buying price would be a second. Now, look at the game. Like I said, Colin Johnson interesting. Keelan Cole not really too interested. I guess Colin Johnson, maybe Mike Glennon is just a classic pocket passer, and he likes his big receivers. I mean, 8 targets, led the team in targets. Colin Johnson, is he an interesting waiver wire ad? I would say no. I would say if you have super deep benches or you're in like a 16-man league, I think he's an interesting ad. I mean, he got 8 targets, 4 for 96 and a touchdown, probably up against. I mean, the Browns secondary is good. I'm not sure that Denzel Ward was shadowing all too much. Laviska Shenault, wish that we saw more. I know Glenn Ramos, you were saying, big Laviska Shenault fan. I'm a big Laviska Shenault fan too. He goes crazy. I love his build. Dude, I gotta stop exiting out of player. I don't even want to go on player profile right now, but I just need to load it up in the background. I need to be able to switch when I need to look at the players. Damn, we're up to 6 in the chat, boys. Yo, if you're in the chat, man, let me know about it. What's up, boys? Kind of just breaking down these games, doing a little waiver wire breakdown. But if you have anything on the side you want to see, talk about, let me know, man. This is just kind of just a free talk, breaking down what's going on in the games this week, or what just happened. Then we got Nick Chubb, 19 for 144. I love the dynamic between Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. I really think that they both can thrive. I know that this is a bit of a down week for Kareem Hunt. I know that I've been telling you guys, trade for Kareem Hunt, get Kareem Hunt on your teams. I know 10 for 62 is not what you were hoping for. It's going to happen. Every once in a while, you're going to have these games. Very weird to see Nick Chubb out-target Kareem Hunt. I'm not sure why that happened, but it did. It's just an off game. Kareem Hunt, his floor is a little bit lower as that 1B running back, but he still has that same ceiling. I think he's going to be fine. I think if you still have your trade deadline coming up, I think that he's also a fine trade target. Then what? Jarvis Landry, 11 targets. Wow, 8 for 143 and a touchdown. I think that he just got dropped in one of my leagues. I think Jarvis Landry, if he's dropped in your league, I think that he's an interesting ad. I still don't love Jarvis Landry. Carterell Hodge is a name that I've been hearing recently. I'm not sure if he's really somebody I have to be keeping an eye out in Dynasty. Carterell Hodge. I don't think that he's really anybody. I feel like biased because I got J-Rob in a couple leagues. Yeah, maybe I'm putting him on a little bit of a pedestal because I don't have him and I just kind of like hear about the production. Because right now in a lot of rest of season rankings, you're seeing James Robinson as like a top 5 guy rest of season. That's the thing for me. Baker Mayfield, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. I'm a big Baker Mayfield guy. The thing about Baker Mayfield, boys, if you guys saw the wide open miss to fucking Rashard Higgins, that was ugly. That was an ugly, ugly miss. What else? What other games do we want to break down? Little Titans Colts action, fine. How did Jonathan Taylor was out this week, right? Carterell, 4.63, 21.7 breakout age. All right, no longer interested, but I'm not going to exit out. We're going to keep that tab open. Damn, computer's starting to get a little bit slow. But, dude, I really didn't expect the Titans. The Titans, I think, were +3 underdogs. I really didn't expect them to just roll over the Colts like this, especially after what happened last time. We got Ryan Tannehill, Derrick Henry. Dude, I love the stats with Derrick Henry before Thanksgiving, after Thanksgiving. If you have Derrick Henry, I have Derrick Henry on that one Dynasty team I was showing you, Glenn Ramos. I'll just call you Glenn, bro. We're homies. Derrick Henry is going to take that Dynasty team to the fucking promised land. Dante Foreman's no longer even after I said Dante Foreman for like 30 seconds, not even interested anymore. Jeremy McNichols, whatever. It's Derrick Henry's backfield. And then even in a game where the game script was just ugly for the Colts, A.J. Brown still 498 and a touchdown. Fucking love A.J. Brown. T.Y. Hilton. T.Y. Hilton finally had a decent game. He's not really anybody I'm interested in. Here's the thing. The Colts backfield, man, they were in a really bad game script. Still had Nyheim Hines had the bulk of the carries, but I think that's just because it was a bad game script, whatever. Is Jonathan Taylor coming back anytime soon? Which fantasy platform do you prefer? Do you think is best to use? I'll make it 100%. If you can get your commission on the sleeper, it's 100%. Like I have a couple ESPN leagues. I have 2 ESPN leagues. And I have 3 sleeper leagues. And then I have a the Scott Fishbowl League, and then I have another ESPN. So I have 3 ESPN, 3 sleepers, and a Scott Fishbowl League. 100%. If you can get your seasonal leagues, anything like that on the sleeper, 100% the best platform. 100% the best platform. I don't. If I could convince like my fucking I got like, what do you want to call it? Homies from high school, like sports guys, jock guys. It's hard to get guys who are so used to ESPN growing up to switch to sleeper. But if you can get to sleeper, 100% the move. Jeez, no free shoutouts though. No free shoutouts, dude. I don't know why I can't find Jonathan. Like I don't know what this little banner ad is, but I would love. Okay, there's Jonathan Taylor. You said next week. Colts plays. He's on the reserve. Jesus. Taylor's out for Sunday's game. He's only a high-risk contact for now, but would miss a minimum of 10 days if he tests positive. 10 days from... Ooh. I'm going to say... Okay, so he's going to be out for 1 or 2 more weeks. Who do the Colts play next? Colts... That's so crazy against the Jaguars that it was a negative game script like that. Or against the Titans. It was that bad of a fucking game. Colts schedule. So they play. Oh my god, they play the Texans. Holy shit, fellas, dude! If Jonathan Taylor misses time and somebody in your league drops Nyheim Hines or Jordan Wilkins, pick them up, please. Please pick them up. That's gonna be a smash spot for them. But anyways, it was a bad spot. Nyheim Hines still got 10 targets. I love that for Nyheim Hines. Nyheim Hines, I think, is definitely the backfield. Is definitely the running back to own. That's why he got more carries. I think in a more neutral setup, you would see Jordan Wilkins get the bulk of the carries and Nyheim Hines be the receiving back. I hate that T.Y. Hilton had a good game. The guys, I can't stand T.Y. Hilton. The gem, though, Michael Pittman, 9 targets. Michael Pittman, 9 targets. T.Y. Hilton's 5 targets. That's why Michael Pittman is somebody I really need to acquire in Dynasty, and he's somebody that I think even in a 12-man league, he's somebody that should be on your bench because he's getting the targets from Phillip Rivers, and we've seen him. He popped off last week. So he's somebody that I'm looking at for sure. You said dude. If you're the commissioner, 100% in 2021, you're doing yourself a disservice if you are not on sleeper. 100%. Well, here's the thing though. I will admit personally though, I'm the commissioner of an ESPN league, and we haven't switched to sleeper. We do the draft on sleeper, and then I input it into ESPN because I will be honest with you. I do like the nostalgia of ESPN to have as a seasonal league because I have the dynasty ones on sleeper and all that. But I do like the nostalgia, the old reliable ESPN. It's just very clean. So I feel like all right. So what games haven't we covered yet? Panthers versus Vikings. This was a game I had to sweat out. As long as JC doesn't test positive, he should be back for 13. The thing that's confusing to me though is that when did he test positive? The thing why I'm skeptical, Glenn, is because it says he tests. I don't know when he tests positive, but if he gets placed on the reserve list November 28th and he needs a minimum of 10 days before he can be out. What's 10 days after the 28th? You might be right. 28th, 10 days. Dude, 28th was Saturday. So 10 days would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That would be not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday. So that's a while. So for me, I think that it's kind of up in the air. But I do think cause the 10 days is really what just comes down to it for me. But I think you're right. I think more likely this week than next week. But I could see a scenario. I could see a scenario where he sits out another week just because like they give people a hard time, man. Especially like even if you're just like in the room with them or whatever. I know that with the Broncos quarterbacks or whatever. Like as long as you're in the room with them being sketchy and shit, that's when they just shut you down for too long. But that's why I think he didn't test positive. He's only the high risk contact. I think he's going to test negative. I would say 80% chance he suits up this week, but I would say 20% chance that he's not suiting up until week 14. Now we have the Panthers. The problem with the Panthers, man, I'm somebody that has Mike Davis in a lot of fucking leagues, but they have a bye this week. They have a bye in a week that is for a lot of people a must-win week. So this is why that's fucked. Mike Davis, whatever. Kind of hate that Rod Smith got any kind of run. Really don't like the breakdown of that. But this is a game that I had to sweat out. I had Panthers plus 3.5. Ended up covering in the end. But dude, 18 points in the fourth quarter from the Vikings is crazy. Now here's the one thing I'll say about the Panthers. I do believe Let me just get an NFL injury report. NFL injury report for players week 12. And can I just get like news? There we go. I think DJ Moore got hurt. That's why I'm trying to look this up, fellas. I think DJ Moore. Do I got a fucking DJ Moore? X-rays on his ankle, but does not know how serious it is. I would not rule him out against ankle. Okay, so that's gonna be not next week. 2 weeks from now. For that game. But if DJ Moore's to go down, somebody I've been loving a lot, Robbie Anderson. I love the dude. 41 yard. He just caught a fucking slant against the Viking secondary. Caught it, took it to the crib ski. Robbie Anderson and Curtis Samuel. If DJ Moore misses any time, I think Curtis Samuel, he's going to be available on a couple of waiver wires. He's a guy I think I'd pick up. Because if DJ Moore's out, that's 9 targets dispersed among the rest of the team. Especially, I think McCaffrey's going to be back by then. But you get what I'm saying. Robbie Anderson and Curtis Samuel is going to get a big bump if DJ Moore's out. But we still don't know what his health is looking like. Also, what about... I think Dalvin Cook was like... I could have sworn that Dalvin Cook was having some problems. Anything on the Roto Underworld blurbs? I could have sworn that he like rolled his fucking ankle or something. Regardless, obviously, if there's anything wrong with Dalvin Cook, the Panthers' defense was physical up front. Game script was limited second half by an ankle injury, but also he returned the drive later. I wouldn't burn priority on a guy like Alexander Madison, but Dalvin Cook, his injuries do linger. Something's always tied up. So that's something I think is interesting. I think that would keep an eye on it with Alexander Madison. And here's the thing about the Vikings team. Here's my take for the Vikings. I really do think this late, dude, remember, they started out what? What was their record? I think it was like, 2-5? Vikings schedule. I want to say that they were, 0-2, 0-3, 1-3, 1-4, 1-5. Dude, they went from 1-5. So they went from 1-5 to 5-6. So that, dude, in their last, they went 1-5 in the first 6, and now they've gone 5-1. I don't know. Don't fucking quote me. Or maybe 4-1 since then. I don't know. 4-1 in the last 5 weeks. I don't know. Don't fucking quote me on any of that shit. Coach Matt Rule said X-rays for DJ Moore was negative, so hopefully he suits up week 14. All right. I'm gassing that OD. So never mind. Everything that I said about the Robbie Anderson, Curtis Samuel thing, whatever. It seems DJ Moore seems like he's going to be suiting up. Just monitor that, because that's going to be somebody that you can low-key get some nice value out of. But I do think with the bye week, even if there is anything wrong with it, he should probably be fine. But here's my take with the Vikings. I think they're getting this late resurgence. They didn't switch quarterbacks like the Titans did, but remember last year with the Titans, they started out a little bit shaky, then they really started to pick things up. And I think Kirk Cousins, a very similar quarterback to Ryan Tannehill, could be a very efficient, and they have that run game like Dalvin Cook and not quite the offensive line, but Dalvin Cook, you can kind of compare him to the Derrick Henry, very good running back when you get a lot of yards. I know he didn't do it this week. This is where the analogy really comes into play. What's up with Adam Thielen? Hold on. Why is Adam Thielen not even... Did he get hurt? That's my bad if I completely glossed over that. Oh, okay, it was COVID. That's why he didn't play last week. All right, fine. All right, he'll be fine coming up. But here's the thing that I was talking about. It's going to be a setup where you have Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen and Corey Davis, you can't really compare one-to-one. Like, Adam Thielen, obviously a stud. Corey Davis, obviously a bust. But Justin Jefferson, that rookie wide receiver, they're going to start trusting him as things going forward. 7 for 70 and 2 is a juicy stat line for a rookie wide receiver. And I think that he's going to keep on picking up as the season progresses. I think he's going to be very, very similar to what A.J. Brown did. A.J. Brown, last year, he was a top 3 wide receiver down the stretch. I think we're going to see the same thing with Justin Jefferson. I think he's going to, I don't know top 3, but I think top 12 is very reasonable down the stretch. They're really starting to pick things up here. They're trying to win games. These are all must-win games. I think he's going to pick up steam similar to A.J. Brown did, especially as a rookie. You start to really get up to speed. 13 targets for Justin Jefferson. Super solid. Super solid. I love that for him. Like I said, I really think Justin Jefferson, wide receivers, yeah, because here's the thing. It was because it was a negative game script. Literally when you look at it, the Panthers went 0-7, 14-6, and then you have the Vikings 7-3-0. 18 points in the fourth quarter is insane. Let me do a little rewind. Let me go back into the game log. I do want to talk about Ola Bc Johnson real quick. Actually, to keep it a buck, man. To keep it a buck, I'm not really that excited about Ola Bc. I think Ola Bc Johnson, 7 targets. It looks like Adam Thielen's not going to miss any more times, but he's not expected to play. Adam Thielen, overall, expect Coach Mike Zimmer to lean on. Waiting for further testing. Well, it doesn't really say anything is really definitive with Adam Thielen. So I think that Ola Bc Johnson, I think he's worth a pickup 7 for 74. He's somebody I had in Dynasty, not anymore. I think Chad Beebe too. But here's the thing. You really can't rely on any of this type of production because this is a team that doesn't pass the ball a lot at all, especially when you factor in the game script of this game. They're not usually down like this. They usually run the ball with Dalvin Cook. You're very rarely going to see 18 for 61 from Dalvin Cook just because especially against the Panthers who have a very soft run defense. This is a weird game. This was not how this was supposed to be drawn up, especially at Minnesota's crib. This was very weird. That's why I'm kind of taking BC Johnson and Chad Beebe with a little bit of a grain of salt in this game. This is a game without Adam Thielen. If Adam Thielen misses time again, I think I lean Ola Bc Johnson as like a pickup, but I really wouldn't start him unless it's a super deep league. But moving on to another game, I'm not sure what this next one's going to be. I don't know. I'm not sure when Adam Thielen's coming back. You have any other injuries up here that are somewhat? Baltimore plays tight end. Wow, Mark Andrews. Jesus Christ. So that's looking rough for the Monday night game. Damn, this shit's not loading. Hold up. The laptop's really starting to blow out air. But, mad chill. Mad chill. What are we on to now? The Cardinals. This was a game I was scared to bet on, dude. I bet on the under 51. I felt like it was a good spot for that kind of thing. But you load into it. Let me see it. Jeez, man. The laptop, I'll be honest with you guys. The laptop a little bugging slightly right now. But I think we're fine. Oh, my. Like, every time I try and load in, the fan gets fucking louder. All right, so Kyla Murray is 0 for 1. To be honest with you guys, I don't know how people are talking about this, but I think Kyla Murray is, like, kind of banged up, to be honest with you guys. He's, like, he just doesn't look 100% to me. But Kenyon Drake, he gets the bulk of the carries, 22 for 78 and 2 touchdowns. That's great. If you're a Kenyon Drake owner, that's, like, beautiful. After the kind of start that he had, what's up? Hen Ahmed, Justin Jefferson's a beast. And Adam Thielen got COVID. Who knows when he's going to be back? But, dude, Justin Jefferson's a beast. If you can get him in Dynasty, get him in Seasonal, get him everywhere. Justin Jefferson, stud. To be honest with you, when he was coming out, I didn't even think that I had him as a wide receiver 3. But to say that I thought that he was going to be in the same tier as CeeDee Lamb this far in the season, no way. Yo, ISO only. What's up, my man? What's good? It can't believe my dude. You had to bring it up. Of course, it's even in the bottom right in the NFL news. If I could, I'd pour one out for Will Fuller, man. This is a very sad day. As a guy who has Will Fuller in Dynasty, as a guy who roots for Will Fuller, very sad day. It seems like the PED use wasn't really even intentional. He's not a fucking yoked guy. He's a wide receiver. He doesn't look like he's yoked, but that's what happens. DeAndre Hopkins, another shitty game. Nothing really to take. Nothing really I'd be adding from this Arizona game for any of these wide receivers. I mean, 6 targets for Andy Isabella is very, very slick, though. Wow, dude, Texans fan. Here's the thing, though. If you're a Texans fan, let me spin this for you, ISO. Let me spin this for you real quick. If you're a Texans fan, what are y'all, like 3-7, 4-7? Playoffs not going to happen for you guys. But we've known that. Texans, playoffs not going to happen. Here's the thing about Will Fuller. He's always fucking hurt. Why not just give him the rest of the season off? Give him the rest of the season off. Let him charge up for the next year. And why don't you guys see what you guys have in Brandon Cooks? Let's feed Brandon Cooks like he's the main wide receiver. Let's treat him like a main wide receiver like he's been early in his career. So you're going to see what you have in Brandon Cooks. You're going to see what you're going to have in your younger wide receivers. And you're going to lose more games without Will Fuller. You're going to get a better draft pick. So in terms of real life as a Texans fan, I think that I'd actually be somewhat happy because there's no reason for Will Fuller. Will Fuller's a guy who's prone to get like really bad injuries, just insane. He's always been someone to get hurt, so might as well just shut him down for the rest of the season, let him go into the offseason, do his workouts and stuff. Hopefully he doesn't pull anything or tear anything there. But I think I like that. In terms of dynasty or seasonal, really sucks. Really sucks. As a guy who has him in some places, I'm going to have to hit up some boys in my leagues, or some boys in my dynasty league, because I'm going to have to flip him for some win-now assets, even though I fucking went out and traded for him as a win-now asset. So, just ugly stuff, man. Damian Harris, like, I'm really not interested in much of what's going on with New England besides, like, literally, I mean, James White is kind of juicy. 2 touchdowns, 5 for 18. He's just not somebody that I'm really looking at. Jacoby Myers, Damiere Byrd. Jacoby Myers is somebody I'm super excited about. But dude, they just don't pass enough. 84 passing yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Like, it's just not enough. Jacoby Myers, Damiere Byrd, super nice if you can get them in Dynasty, get them in Dynasty. But in seasonal, they're really, I could have a hard time ever trusting them and starting them. Because the Arizona Cardinals, I'm pretty sure, are like a middle-of-the-road pass defense type team. And Cam Newton still threw for 918, 84, and 2 interceptions. Like, it's just, dude, a 6.6 QBR. Man, yeah, I think Fuller got passed on his injuries. Yeah, it blows. It blows, but he's going to get healthy. By the way, man, do you think I should start? Man, Rager or Deontay Johnson with the game up in the air? Man. Dude, to be honest with you, has Rager done anything in these last couple of weeks? Like, if Rager still is, like, operating as a rookie wide receiver, man, he's facing, I know Shaquille Griffin's coverage rating isn't that great, but if he's still operating as, like, a rookie wide receiver, how many routes he run? 36? 4 for 52? I'm up 26 going against Metcalf and Steelers D. Up 26 against Metcalf and Steelers D. So his Steelers D is as fucked as your Deontay Johnson. Really comes down. It really comes down to if you truly think that the games aren't going to happen on Wednesday. Man, if I'm in your spot, dude. Up 26 against Metcalf and the Steelers D. Man, if you have nothing in place to get subs with your commissioner, man. Playing Seahawks tonight. Seahawks are a bad secondary. Things can happen. Has he caught a touchdown yet? No. Or no, he has 1 touchdown. It was in week 8. To be completely honest with you, you're up 26 against Metcalf. Metcalf tonight. Man, so pretty much it would just be you countering DK Metcalf with the Jalen Rager play, hopefully, and just being like, there's no way the Steelers defense plays. I think personally, this is a tough question. ISO only. I think that I kind of am pretty confident that this the Steelers-Ravens game gets played, and I think I would just run up. Deontay Johnson because we just haven't seen it yet from Jalen Rager. I don't think 5 targets, 7 targets, 4 receptions for 52. Like. If you think, here's the thing, I would go Rager if you don't think the game happens, but I think the game happens, and I think what would end up happening if you play Rager is you put Rager in the starting lineup, you look good after the Metcalf game, or you look good after tonight's game, but I think if the Steelers defense ends up playing against a backup, against like our RG3, you'd be fucked. That's why I think I would just stick with Deontay Johnson. Simply because I side on the thing that the game's going to happen on Wednesday. I think the game happens. I think Deontay Johnson is going to be fine, especially when you factor in the fact that the Steelers aren't going to have James Conner. Not going to trust the guys in between the tackles to run the ball and that type of shit. That's why I think that I personally would go Deontay Johnson, but. Who you guys say? Metcalf against Philly. Rager has a good game lined up. Rager has a good game lined up, dude. But Wentz tough. Like what Glenn said. Wentz. Wentz can go out there and throw for like 150, 0 touchdowns, and 3 picks against the Seahawks. I know the Seahawks defense aren't good. Man, I think this is a really tough one, man. I think my final decision is going. I think I'd go Deontay Johnson. Now Jordan Brand, what you were saying? I'm still on the Kill Harry. 3 targets yesterday, 0 catches from the Kill Harry. Oof. Yeah, ISO, man, I'm going to give you my vote of confidence. I'm going to say I'm leaning 65% towards Deontay Johnson, 35% towards Rager. So do with that information as you will. I think I would still just stand pat with Deontay Johnson because especially if it's a 0.5 PPR or less, I don't think that Metcalf gets 26. 26 is a lot. He'd have to really go crazy. I know the Eagles' defense is shit. I know he can do 26, but if you do that, if you try and get cute, Rager drops a dud. It's like you could see yourself going into Wednesday night, maybe up 6 with the Steelers defense coming up. Like that's why I'm saying I think I would just roll with Deontay Johnson. Bet on the fact that he kind of offsets your shit with that Steelers defense because he's playing that Steelers defense. I would if he's gonna lock and load with that Steelers defense, I would do the same thing, pony up with Deontay Johnson and get a little wild. I think that you just got to trust it. Opinion on Kiki Kuti with recent news of Will Fuller. That's, man, like to be honest with you, has he been doing any? Like, has he? This is where you got to go into the Kiki Kuti stats. I got to see what the targets looking like because to me, honestly. He didn't play from week 2 to week 10. He comes in 4 targets, 3 targets. Let me see the target distribution from this game one more time. I think that I still would lean on the side of I'm not that interested in Kiki Kuti. If you got a spot on your bench, I don't hate it. I mean, who targets? 4 targets. 7 targets for Fuller, 5 for Cooks. Then Kuti's next wide receiver. Yeah, I could be interested in Kiki Kuti. I think that I was being a little bit too harsh. That's a good point. I think Kiki Kuti is actually a good waiver wire. I wouldn't use a priority on him because it is Kiki Kuti. But we've seen him play well in recent years. He has that chemistry with Deshaun Watson. Who's that? Matthew Jung. That's a good call. I was kind of sleeping on him, but that's because we didn't see a game where Will Fuller got hurt. Have we seen a game without Will Fuller this year yet? If we have, Kiki Kuti probably wasn't active anyways. We have the Dolphins box scored. You said Metcalf has only scored over 26 once. That's what I'm saying. I think the odds that he scores exactly 26 points and then I don't know. I wouldn't get cute there. I really would side with the side of Deontay Johnson. 26 points is a lot to ask of him. Now we have the Dolphins Jets game. I don't know if any of you guys are Jets fans. I'm done with Sam Darnold. This is the final game. He's healthy. He has a full repertoire of receivers. He has Jameson Crowder, Rashad Perriman, Denzel Mims. And he puts up against it. I know the Dolphins secondary is pretty good. Zero touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I just can't fuck with it. I can't. You got to show me a little bit more. Joe Burrow's doing a little bit more with what he has. You said week 2 Will Fuller got injured? Thing is has Kiki Kuti, has he been dealing with injuries? Like, why did he not play from weeks 3 to 10? That's my question. I would imagine that week 2 game, because he didn't really do anything crazy in that week 2 game. Like, what was the game logs there in week 2? Yeah, 2 targets. I mean, it was against Baltimore. Yeah, so I'm just gonna, dude. Kiki Kuti, what? Like, I don't understand. He's been. No, that was fucking Will Fuller. Kiki Kuti, Isaiah Coulter. So yeah, Kiki Kuti's gonna be in 2 wide receiver sets. I know that the Will Fuller game a little bit touchy in week 2. I think that would be something good to look at if like Kiki Kuti wasn't whatever he was like. What is the problem? Oh, and then it's also, I guess Randall Cobb also kind of took his spot. You know what I mean? Was he just like a healthy scratch for a lot of these games? That's not good, boys. It's cleared to practice. Missed 17 games to injuries, healthy scratches. Man, yeah, Kiki, I think he's interesting because you have Randall Cobb out, Will Fuller's out. He's the wide receiver 2 in this offense. I actually really like that. Who are they playing? Man, Houston Texans schedule. Yeah, I'm thinking healthy scratches because you have Randall Cobb and you got Will Fuller. There's only so many guys that they want to roster. It is a little bit ugly. I think just healthy scratches, yeah, because Randall Cobb and Kiki are the same fucking guy. Colts next week. That's not a juicy matchup. They've had their bye already, I think. I mean, they got the Colts, Colts twice. Bengals in the fantasy playoffs, though. I do like that. Texans play Colts. I mean, Colts. What are they? I got this in my bookmarks. Let's peep this real quick. Well, might as well go balls deep in this Kiki QT deep dive. What's everybody saying? I'm a Texans fan. Never played because O'Brien hated him and never played him. Well, fuck O'Brien, bro. I hate that. I hate O'Brien. Said you're a Texans fan, O'Brien. Yeah. Kiki QT. I liked him. I liked him when early in his career. Early in his career, he had some games where he looked really good. Jordan Atkins worthy of picking up. I'd say he's slightly more worthy than he was before. That's like Jordan Atkins. It's just tough because they also have Darren Fells and they kind of switch between the two. All right, so now we're looking at wide receivers. Colts. So Colts are pretty stingy against wide receivers, 22nd. But here's the thing. On the outside, they're going to have Xavier Rhodes has been sick on the outside. In the slot, I'm not sure who they're running in the slot against Kiki QT. So Kiki QT could be one of those PPR guys. I actually really, especially in full PPR, I'm loving that pickup. I appreciate you, Cameron28, putting me on to Kiki QT. I was kind of sleeping on him just because of the healthy scratches. And shit. Fucking, I don't know. The boys hitting me up on the text messages. Bro. Fucking idiot. Yeah, Jordan Brand's in the stream. He's my boy. Just texting me, I guess. Matthew John, and if Josh Jacobs is out, could I start Devonte Booker? 100%. Yeah. That's what I went over earlier in the stream. We looked at the Raiders game logs or whatever. 100%. If Josh Jacobs misses time, Devonte Booker locked and loaded top 20 guy. Texans fans, Kiki never played. All right, Kiki QT, I like him. Who else are they playing? Bears. Oh, jeez, man. The matchups are tough. 29. Yeah, the matchups are scary, but I think that's just better on the outside. Jordan Brand got exposed a little bit. But yeah, Jordan Brand, he's in the stream. He's my boy. Just kind of looking out for him. He doesn't realize that the iMessage pops up on the screen, but that's just what it is. All right, let's break down a couple more. Ooh, DeAndre Washington leading rusher. Is that interesting? No, I'm not very interested. Here's the thing, though. For those of you guys that have Devontae Parker in your Devontae Parker, Mike Gesicki, anything like that, with Ryan Fitzpatrick coming into these games, man, I think that they get a bump. Here's the thing, though. How much does anybody even understand why they ever pulled Tua? I don't really understand why they keep putting in Ryan Fitzpatrick. I think it's kind of stunting. It's kind of fucked up. It's kind of fucked up to be here's the keys to the Ferrari, Tua Tagovailoa, and then just say psych. To just psych Ryan Fitzpatrick now. Okay, never mind. My bad. He had a thumb injury. That's my bad. I will just say though, it seemed like they were benching him when they benched him against the not the Jets, but the other team they just played against Denver. So what's up with him? What's up? Ryan Fitzpatrick targeted Devontae Parker high team 14 times. So that's what I'm saying. Ryan Fitzpatrick, how long is he going to be out for though? After the Jets Dolphins face Bengals, claim the starting job, the Dorfer. Yeah, it seems like Fitzpatrick he might end the season as a starting quarterback, and that is exactly what you want if you have Devontae Parker. I think Devontae Parker could be a league-winning type wide receiver if Ryan Fitzpatrick is the quarterback. Then you got Mike Gesicki. I think Mike Gesicki, super interesting, especially with who's the guy that usually run in the slot? I don't know, but it seems like Mike Gesicki, he's getting snaps out of the slot. Love Mike Gesicki going forward. I know 2 for 35 and a touchdown is nothing special, but Devontae Parker, man, 8 for 119. That's a guy. Glenn, you saw my dynasty team, the rebuilding team with Devontae Parker. I'm gonna have to try and sell high on this performance, 100%. And then we got the Jets receivers, 4 for 67, 8 targets from Denzel Mims. I heard he had a 30-yard long. Man, love that shit. Love that shit from Denzel Mims, boys. Man. Denzel Mims is the one bright spot on the Jets, as you guys know, or if you guys are loyal subscribers to the channel, and if you're not, that's cool too, man. If you're a new guy, you saw this on your suggested page, man, what the fuck is up? I'm a Jets fan. It's a very, very tough look for me right now. But Denzel Mims is the one shining bright spot. We got Breshad Perriman. You said Breshad Perriman have any value? Oh, man. 4 for 79. What did he do last week? I feel like Perriman's got some low-key, like, Perriman in a league where you have, like, 3 flexes, maybe. Like 2 of 4 last week for 54 and a touchdown. Targeted 30% of attempts. Yeah, I kind of agree with Roto Underwood. Like, high risk wide receiver 4. He's a boom bust wide receiver 4. If you have, like, 2 or 3 flex spots, I could see him as, like, a flex 2, flex 3 kind of guy. But I think that's as far as I'm willing to go just because... Man, when you have Sam Darnold throwing the ball to him, it's just tough, man. It's just really tough to trust these receivers. I think of everybody. I know that Jameson Crowder had a bad game, but I think Jameson Crowder is the one in seasonal leagues I'd be most interested in. Breshad Perriman. I think Breshad Perriman's also interesting as like a boom bust guy. Like I said, Frank Gore, 18 carries. I think did LaMichael Pirine did he have he catch the COVID? I think if he did catch the COVID, is he coming back anytime soon? High ankle sprain. Here's the thing, though. I'm a Jets fan, but not a big fan of LaMichael Pirine. Kind of, like, as much as I am, like, team wait on running back, don't draft a running back early, not a big fan of LaMichael Pirine. I think he's, like, a slow plotter type running back. Frank Gore, 18 carries, 74 yards. It seems like, here's the thing. I don't know if you guys saw the reports. Who fucking knows between Adam Gase and Dowell Laggins who's even calling the plays? I really couldn't tell you who's calling the plays. But here's the thing. Frank Gore, 18 carries. It seems like there's no other running back. Frank Gore is a guy, as much as I hate to say it, I think that he's up there with a Devontae Parker in terms of like guys that I'd be looking to add on waivers, for sure. So 18 for 74, like, it's ugly. DeAndre Washington, here's the thing. It's so hard to keep up to date with all the injuries, especially now with all the COVID shit going on. Like, when's Gaskin coming back? If Gaskin's not coming back anytime soon... Oh, shit. Yo, my mom's calling me live on stream. Hello? Alright. Alright, I'm busy right now. I'll be up, though. Alright, bye. Oof. Just a little live call from my mom on the stream. That was. I'll be honest, boys, a little bit unprofessional. But here's the thing: we're all homies, and this is just—it's an open space where sometimes if you gotta accept a call from your mom, you gotta accept a call from your mom. Here's the thing, though, boys. P Ryan not gonna be it. 100%. I'm actually. It's fucked. I never root for anybody getting hurt, but I didn't want him to do well enough to the point where we're like, oh, P Ryan's gonna be the running back of the future. No way. He is at best. He's at best like a change of pace guy in the future. Here's the thing, though. My mom just told me I think we're getting our dog tomorrow. We're gonna get a new dog. I'll introduce a dog to the streams, or I'll even introduce it in like a new video or something. I'm not sure on the video. I'm not sure on the names yet. Winnie is the name. It's a girl. It's a girl French bulldog. The name's Winnie. I'm thinking about changing the name. I don't know. You guys fuck with Winnie? Here's the thing, though. Like I said, Devontae Parker, great buy or great sell in Dynasty if you're on a rebuilding team. I think he's also a great buy if you're a contending team and you need a cheap wide receiver 1. So that's what I like about Devontae Parker. So going to the next game, Dolphins Jets. Who cares? Whatever. Browns Jaguars. We talked about that game. Not to play like a girl from Vanderbilt. Saints Broncos. Yeah, Saints Broncos was an ugly game. What do you guys think about the whole them forcing the Broncos to play without a quarterback? It seems like, I don't know. To me, I think that if it was a team like if it was a team like the Chiefs, could you guys imagine they force the Chiefs to play a game without a quarterback? Like, I really don't know. Here's the thing, though. It would be pretty live, though, if they got Tyreek Hill to play quarterback. I don't know who their emergency quarterback in that situation would be, but I think that you could see a guy like Tyreek Hill in there. Somebody who's just a playmaker, goes crazy. I think if we could get like a wildcat game where it's just Tyreek Hill at quarterback, I'd actually really love to see that game. But that's what I'm saying, though. Would they do this to teams not named the Broncos? That's what I'm saying. But you got Royce Freeman, Melvin Gordon, the Broncos running backs. Honestly, everything that I saw from the Broncos in this game, I'm just going to throw it out. That's an ugly game. Not even going to really take into account. Now, here's the interesting part about this whole Taysom Hill thing. The interesting part, it seems like the last 2 weeks that Taysom Hill has plays, it seems tough. Yeah, you're saying it looks worse and worse since the NFL keeps pushing back the Steelers game. Are they pushing it back to get Lamar Jackson healthy, or they just keep pushing it back because people are getting COVID? Like I don't know. To be honest with you, I should be more in tune with that. But like the COVID, like I'm just so sick of hearing about all the COVID stuff and keeping up with all that. I really don't know what the reasoning is behind them keep pushing it back. I guess they just keep getting positive tests. But what they were saying yesterday is that the tests were just like the aftershocks of the initial breakout. So I really got no fucking clue. It looks worse and worse. Yeah. But here's the thing. If you have Alvin Kamara in your fantasy league, it's scary. It is scary. I don't have Alvin Kamara anywhere. I wasn't blessed like some of you may have been with drafting him early in drafts. I also don't have him in Dynasty. He's hard to acquire. To return in Week 15. So, I mean, and he's going to be back in the playoffs. Can I just get a... What? So Taysom Hill has been the starter the last 2 weeks. I just get Alvin Kamara stats. Now Wednesday, marking Jacob Dobbins will be able to come off the COVID list for the game. Wow, that's true, man. They are really backpedaling with this game. They're really backpedaling, and like just trying to figure out ways for this game to work with the Ravens, getting players healthy. I couldn't even tell you. Man, like Lamar might suit up for that game now. I really don't know what's going on. Is Alvin Kamara? He's like hurt a little bit. The game logs, man, this is scary, boys. This is scary. Like ever since Drew Brees has gone down, he has not looked great. These 2 weeks right here, 45 total yards with 1 target. The problem is, man, here's something that you have to understand with all quarterbacks in fantasy football. It's 100% the guys who run the ball, the scramblers, the guys who get out of the pocket, who run the ball a lot, like a Taysom Hill, like a Lamar Jackson. They're not going to target the running backs a lot. 3 targets over the last 2 weeks is really tough for Kamara. That is really tough. For a guy that you're depending on as your RB1, failing to record Emmanuel Sanders coming, Kamara should still be interested in match-approved option. The only note time is becoming routine for Kamara, who either opens the week, but he's always hurt. I really can't say big picture for the Broncos, but just not fair across the board to be able to push back. Yeah, exactly. If it was anybody but it's just a shitty look, man. Like if I was a Broncos fan, I would take that shit personally. Like that's just like, oh, you guys are already losing. Who even cares? Might as well forfeit the game. Just like treat everybody equally, man. In terms of like just like be fair. Roger Goodell, just be a commissioner. Be fair to everybody. It's honestly annoying. Should I play it safe and play Seattle D or Pitt D? Fuck, man. Yo, Patty, let me know. What is your game looking like right now? Like, how many points are you up? Who does the other guy have about to play? Let me know that type of information real quick before I tell you. Because I think the Pittsburgh defense, dude, if they don't play with Lamar Jackson on the Ravens, that's a juicy matchup. That is a juicy matchup. Through 2 weeks with Hill under center, Kamara's finished as the RB25. Oof. Fantasy, perhaps Kamara will be used. I mean, like you could make the argument that it's not a very competitive game. They played against the Broncos. It was never really a game to begin with. Can you say the same thing about the Atlanta game? Did they blow Atlanta out? That's tough, man. It's really tough if you're a Kamara guy. If you have Kamara, like you can't trade him. Nobody wants him. Game logs. Whoa. Damn. This is not even what I wanted. I mean, he still had 54% snap share last week. Like, I don't know if I would be panicking. Saints schedule. I don't know if I would be panicking, but I'd be pretty fucking close, man. I have Carson and Metcalf left, and I'm up by 4. Opponent has Russell Johnson. Well, here's the thing. If you're up by 4, I would say up by 4 plus Metcalf and Carson that you beat Wilson anyways. Guys, here's a major key. I'm not going to even sit here and pretend like I know what the fuck I'm talking about with defenses. If you need good defensive rankings, this is what I always do. I go the Reddit shit has really good rankings. I go defensive maneuvers, Reddit week 12. Let's take a look ski at how much better the Steelers are compared to the Seahawks. I mean 8.2 versus 11.4. To keep it a buck with you, I think that I would go. I have Carson and Metcalf left, and I'm up by 4. My opponent has Wilson and Deontay Johnson. Metcalf and Chris Carson plus 4 points against Wilson and Deontay Johnson. Yeah, I think I would just roll, man. I think I would just roll and go Steelers because at that point, you're just countering his Deontay Johnson. If he didn't have Deontay Johnson and it was like somebody else playing this night, then I would go all in. That's my final take, though. I think 100%, I think I would just sit tight with the Steelers defense, let them eat up whatever the Ravens roll out tomorrow, and go from there. But like I was saying with Alvin Kamara, time to worry. You have Latavius Murray, time to celebrate. Latavius Murray, I think that now with Taysom Hill at quarterback, between the tackles, it looks like Latavius Murray's going to get that workload between the tackles. It's just tough, man. If you have Alvin Kamara, that's really tough. But that's just what it is right now. I think it's also tough if you have Michael Thomas. This is really throwing a whole wrench into the Saints' offense, as a lot of things have this year. But you just have to hold tight with Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas until that Week 15 comes around when Drew Brees comes back. Hopefully you can keep it together until then. But and then nobody really to pick up off waivers for the Saints. Patty, you just sub, bro. Appreciate the fuck out of that, man. Appreciate it, man. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would just roll with Steelers D, see what happens. San Francisco, man, Mostert didn't look great yesterday. Wilson got 12 carries. Like I would say Wilson's like a fine pickup, but you never fucking know. You really never know. You really, like with the San Francisco running backs, like Jeff Wilson, okay, maybe he did something good this week, but then he comes out next week. Who knows? I really wouldn't get too over my skis out on someone like Jeff Wilson. I think Raheem Mostert's that guy. Jerick McKinnon. Jeff Wilson's probably going to be the 1B. Honestly, Jeff Wilson's not a terrible pickup. I think that he's a nice ad. I wouldn't use priority on him. Then we got the receivers. Diva Samuel, huge breakout game. There's no one else I'm really interested in the rest of this team. Diva Samuel, huge breakout game. Now, you can't go out and buy him in like a dynasty. He just had his breakout game. If you can sell him in dynasty, I think I would look into that because I personally, in this offense with Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback, I don't know what they're going to do at quarterback going into next season. But Diva Samuel, I don't know if there's going to be there's a lot of passing work that's going to have to go around between Diva Samuel, Ayuk, and Kittle for a team that likes to run the ball as much as the 49ers do. That's why I'm not sure Diva Samuel can ever ascend into like a wide receiver 1. I think his ceiling's a little bit capped in that sense. I mean, he did just go out against the Rams and put up 11 and 133. So regardless, I think that he's a interesting sell high in dynasty. He's not a guy that you can go out and just acquire, but Divo Samuel, I think that this is going to be what he's going to do for the rest of the year. Or not what he's going to do for the rest of the year, but I think he's going to play big. He's going to play big as long as Ayuk is out, as long as Kittle is out. How long are those guys out? Kittle, 8-week recovery, November 3rd. Yeah, whatever. Just assume that Kittle is out for fucking time. I think Ayuk is coming back soon, though. If Ayuk comes back soon, Samuel gets dropped a little bit. I think Deebo Samuel is not going to be available in a lot of leagues. I'm going to look up right now on the ESPN app how many places he's available in. Optimistic chance to return in week 12. He'll be back in week 13. Deebo Samuel, just keep an eye on it. If you have Deebo Samuel, keep an eye out on those weeks where Ayuk is out or anything like that. Must start player. But then, boys, hold on. Before I talk about the Rams, let me see the ownership percentage for Diva Samuel on ESPN. Like, is he owned by a lot of people? 61.1% owned? Wow. If he's on waivers in any of you guys' league, I would probably use priority on him. I think so. After this whole thing, I think the main guys I'd be looking for is going to be in terms of like guys I would use waiver priority on is going to be Diva Samuel, Devante Booker, possibly Frank Gore, and then somebody I wouldn't use waiver on, but I like as an ad a lot is going to be Kiki Kuti. Now we look at Los Angeles, whatever, Goff had a bad game, 23-20. That happens, especially in these interdivisional matchups for the Rams, Niners. Like this NFC West, whenever they play against each other, they always play down and play up to each other. You know what I mean? It's always an even game. But we got the Cam Akers breakout game, boys. Cam Akers, Glenn, you saw on the Dynasty team, we're running Cam Akers. This is huge, man. This is huge. This is huge for Dynasty. If you have Cam Akers in Dynasty, huge dub yesterday, man. 9 for 84 and a touchdown. Man. 9 for 84 and a touchdown, I need that. Debo and his negative air yards are concerning. Yeah, I saw that. What was it, like negative like 2, maybe negative 2 air yards? But here's the thing, I'm not that concerned about it because Debo's always been like a gadget guy. You know what I mean? Debo's always been somebody you get in the bubble screens, you get in the reverses. Like Kyle Shanahan uses him as a fucking running back sometimes. Even if Ayuk has activated Kyle Shanahan, usage of Samuel keeps the ladder in play as a high floor. Wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3. Yeah, I think so too. I think he's a very good flex moving forward, including a 24-yarder. Francisco's Deadpool packages? What the fuck? Being featured in the open field? What? Wait. I didn't watch a lot of this game. Was healthy in his return from a 3-game absence, being featured in the open field in San Francisco's Deadpool packages that allow him to pick up speed with backfield tosses. Notably recorded back-to-back receptions on the team's final drive. Would you guys be like? Would it be whack if I pulled up these touches? I kind of want to see what he did. Debo Samuel. Can I just get like week 12 highlights? Week 12. Not the week 12 pregnancy symptoms. Just go a little 2x here. Wow. So that was just a like man. So I guess I'm assuming that if he had that low of air yards, Glenn, you're saying that most of these touches look like this. He was balling out though. Yeah. Okay, this one's a throw. This one's a throw. Okay. Here's the thing, dude. Against even with the negative air yards, man, when you're playing against a Rams secondary with a guy like Jalen Ramsey, especially Jalen Ramsey when there's no Ayuk and they're just going to pretty much, man, another screen. Dude, here's the thing. People really forget the way that we were perceiving Debo Samuel after their deep playoff run. He was getting talked up as like it was like AJ Brown, and then it was like Debo Samuel a little bit under him. That's why, I mean, man, that's an interesting game. It is a lot of gadget type plays. It is a lot of him in motion. I wouldn't be too worried about it though. I think that's just what Kyle Shanahan does. Regardless, we're not looking at Debo Samuel as a guy who's going to be like your wide receiver 1 ever. But I mean, as long as they have these injuries with Kittle, and it seems like Nick Mullins can be serviceable. Ramsey didn't shadow him. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Ramsey didn't shadow him, especially when he's getting all these things in the backfield. There's no reason for him to come across the formation like once every time. But I'm still saying, I mean, you got Ramsey on one side of the field most of the times. I mean, they have really good coverage guys, anyways. Colin Johnson, like. The Rams aren't allowing any free buckets. Yeah, the Rams are allowing the second least amount of fantasy points to opposing wide receivers. So I'm not going to sit here and say that he was shadowed by Ramsey and he put up 100 yards on Ramsey. That would be a little bit wild to me to say. But for sure, it's impressive at the very least to come back after a 3-game absence, put up 100+ yards against the Rams. Impressive. Then you have Robert Woods. Like I said, Robert Woods is the guy I had on my playoff trade targets going into the playoffs. Robert Woods, last week, went crazy. This week, 7 for 80 on 12 targets. Robert Woods, he does that. He does this towards the end of the year. He's like a Derrick Henry type. He's going to be that guy. He picks it up at the end of the season. I really can't tell you a rhyme or reason why. I don't have a reason for why he picks it up at the end of the season. He does that. He's somebody I really trust in the playoffs as a wide receiver 2. But we got the Cam Akers breakout, 9 for 84 and a touchdown, boys. You know what? Pull up the fucking YouTube one more time for Cam Akers. Pull up the YouTube one more fucking time, bro. This is what needs to. We got to look up the Cam Akers at the very. We got the Cam Akers highlights. Yeah. Oh, not like this. Not like this. This is not what. Just Cam Akers week 12. Cam Akers. Yeah, we'll just look at the 160-yard run. I don't know if any of you guys have Cam Akers in Dynasty. Okay. Okay. Would have really liked if he didn't get caught from behind, but safest receiver. He'll never lose you a week. Yeah, because he has a good floor because his 8.'s so low. He has such a good floor in terms of where his targets are coming from. But Cam Akers, he's on a lot of waivers right now. If you can get Cam Akers as a pickup, I wouldn't use a priority on him, but grab him. Cam Akers is somebody super interesting going into the playoffs. If you can get a hold of this backfield, it's going to be tough though because you take out that 61, then he has 8 for 23. He has 8 for 23. Everybody had a bad running game yesterday besides that 61-yard run, so it's tough. Cam Akers is still super interesting. Out of all the running backs, who got the most passing work? Okay, Malcolm Brown. Malcolm Brown, I don't know why they're using him as a receiving back. It makes no fucking sense to me. That's what it is. Cam Akers, very good ad. What else do we got? Jets chance to earn each draft spot. Hey, number 169%. What else we got? We went over the Bears-Packers game, went over the Chiefs-Bucks game. Did we go over the Chiefs-Bucks game? I want to say no. Here's the thing. This is the last game I'm going to go over, boys. If you got any questions, any start-sit questions, any trade questions, drop them down below. I'm probably going to be streaming for another like 5-10 minutes. Then I'm probably going to go wrap it up, eat the stuffed shells my mom called me about. You know the fucking deal. I think somebody was asking to see one of my squads. I already showed some of my squads to the boy Glenn. But if you want to see, I could show you some of my ESPN lineups. I don't care. Or yeah, I'm not gonna. Maybe I'll look at some bets to make on tonight's game. I don't know. Mahomes did his thing. Whatever. Clyde, dude, the running game for the Chiefs has been really upsetting. Somebody that I was really high on Clyde. I'll be honest. I was really high on Clyde Edwards-Helaire coming into the season. He's been an absolute disappointment. 11 for 37. It is a really tough rushing defense. I can't be that harsh on him. It's just been really tough. I still think that he's like RB18 rest of season, RB20. Tyreek Hill, insane from Tyreek Hill. 13, 269, 3 touchdowns. I wish that he did more though. I know I don't own him anymore, so it wasn't even like that. But it's like, dude, if you're gonna put up 207 in the first quarter and start like breaking records, why not just go crazy? Why not just try and break all the fucking records? Why not just try and get 500 receiving yards? Like I feel like he could have. But I mean, it also comes down to the idea that I suppose like Todd Bowles just like, all right, just we'll double him every play, and if they're gonna beat us, it has to be from somewhere else. Kelsey went crazy. I'm not sure any of these other wide receivers aren't really that interesting to me. Then we got Tampa Bay, Brady, who I don't understand. I'm gonna head out. Take care, dude. Nice talking to you. All right, Glenn. I'll see you, G. Make sure you pop up in these streams. I'm gonna be streaming. Every Monday now. I'm going to try and stream every Friday or Saturday, and then I'm going to be streaming every Sunday an hour before tip-off. So I'll start mentioning them in videos and stuff like that. I'm not sure if you regularly watch my other videos, but I'm going to start mentioning the streams more. We'll start making these more of a thing where we can get the chat a little bit more jumping. I know that it was a little bit on the lower side with the chat, but it is what it is for right now. But yeah, man, I had a great time talking to you. I had a great time talking to everybody in this stream about all the shit right now. Ronald Jones didn't do much. Rob Gronkowski, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. Really nobody interesting for waiver wire pickups on either of these teams. But I don't know. Like I said, if anybody else is in the stream has any questions or anything like that before I wrap this up, let me know. But yeah, those are all the games. We did all the recap. Like I said, if I'm going to break down the waiver wire ads, we're going to say priority ads. Devante Booker. Frank Gore. Was there a wide receiver on that list? Devante Booker, Frank Gore, and then Cam Akers as an ad, Kiki Kuti as an ad. That's all I can remember off the top of my head. But yeah, man, I had a really fun time on the stream. If you've made it this far in the stream, I don't even know how fucking long the stream's been. I literally have no idea. This has been kind of a time warp since I clicked record. I think this could honestly have been a 2-hour stream. I really don't know. But if you've made it this far, man, I appreciate it. Make sure you go down below, subscribe, leave a like, comment. I'm going to post this video as its own video in a second. But I had a fun time on the stream. If you're watching this and you're watching this as a like a recorded stream already, I'm going to be streaming every Monday, every Friday or Saturday, and every Sunday before kickoff. But I had a lot of fun on the stream. I'm going to keep these going. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.